Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Are you feeling the change in the wind? Me too. In fact, I pulled a lot of cards, and I have a reading for you that is basically going to talk about what the energies are as we move into this new 2026. There's a lot going on. I think you all know that. And I'm excited to share it with you. I'm excited to talk about it because we have so much power in this new year. We just finished a 9-year, when you talk about numerology, when we combine the numbers of 2025, and now we're moving into 2026, almost in the halfway through the month. And it's pretty great because this is a new year. This is a 1 year, which means we're moving into something new. And I don't know if you can feel it. It definitely is something that feels obvious to me as someone who feels energy, and I think we all do at this point. So what I did was I went ahead and I pulled some cards for the energies of this new year, 2026. Really exciting time to be alive. So much going on, and we really have so much sovereignty and choice and agency in how we approach our lives, so that we don't get pulled into what can seem very chaotic and can not be as positive as it truly is, because there's a lot of good stuff going on here, and this reading is really, really good. So I worked with the tarot this time, and I broke it down into what is the energy of this year? What is it that we are moving into? What is our potential as we look forward into this year? And I got some really excellent, really great indicators of where we are. I first got the Hierophant, and this is a really, really powerful card aligned with the Queen of Cups. These two cards together really speak to the balance between the intellect, our mind, our wonderful minds that really give us clarity when we are really aligned with ourselves, and when we're allowing information to pour through us in a way that is rational and helpful to situations, our own lives, how we look at things, along with the Queen of Cups. And she is very much someone who is an arbiter of the intuition within us, the ability to see the higher perspective, so that when these two come together, it tells me this energy is really powerful stuff. We really have so much opportunity here in order to move into a place that is fully driven through our own intention and our own ability to co-create. We shouldn't be fooled into thinking that we don't have power in our lives just because maybe there are some things swirling around us. There is definitely change in the wind. This is another one that I pulled, as I showed you. It indicates that there might be some chaotic energies around us, but that does not mean that we have to be reactive. We can respond. We can learn how to adjust. We can ground into ourselves. Look for the choices within situations. How we respond to life is basically, it is the magic of whatever it is that we want to move into as we go into this great new year, this exciting new year, 2026. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are. I'm excited. So the energy of the year, we know we have these forces that are offering us the idea of connecting our thinking, our intuition. Let's talk a little about what our connections are to the people around us, to our partners in life, our partnerships, our connections, whether it's in work or at home or any kind of connection, even just going to the store and meeting people and being someone on the planet that is able to see people from the heart. I got really cool cards here. I got the Six of Swords, and I got the Wheel of Fortune. Auspicious Wheel of Fortune. And the Six of Swords, which is talking about transitions, really good transitions. So this is, when we think about connections, we can change the way we relate to people. What used to be what we did doesn't have to be the same. We can change it. We can change it if it doesn't work for us. And I feel from this card that we have done a lot of work around that. And that it's time to start recalibrating. realigning with things that, and relating in ways that serve us better if they haven't in the past. Now, if it does, great. The Wheel of Fortune is there to say, this is your time. And really, the only thing stopping you is you. It is always within our own ability to redirect relationships if we don't like the way they're going. Starting with how we relate to ourselves. So our first and most important relationship is between us and ourselves. Knowing ourselves, honoring ourselves, knowing that we have we have everything we need within us. We have our beautiful inner being, our beautiful souls within us, guiding us, always showing us what we need to do, how we need to relate in the world, how we need to relate to ourselves first. So that came up first when it came to connections in terms of love, partnerships, community. We need to move into a heart space, much more of a heart space, because I think the reactivity that we're seeing play out in many ways speaks to a disconnect between how we, again, to go back to our intellect and to our intuition, the heart, this beautiful sacred heart within us needs to be engaged and needs to open in a way that is not, it's not being done in, if we're honest, in many ways in the world as we can see it, as it's at least portrayed in the news. And we don't really need to be using that as a barometer of how we relate to ourselves. So this is a new way to drop into our hearts. Dropping into our hearts is, it's very simple. If you get quiet enough, you just put your hand on your heart. I know I've said this before. Put your hand on your heart. If you're about to say something that you feel is reactive, pause, take a breath, put your hand on your heart. That's something that my teacher Sonia always said. It was the way back in, and it truly, truly is. Very powerful medicine, very simple, but a great way to know that you can always take yourself out of a situation and put it into a different space, a different direction, if it's not going the way you want. I also looked into the energy of finances. I know that can be something that makes us nervous at times. And again, the world at large can make you feel like you're not on stable ground. And these cards, I'm telling you, they are so good for this year. And it's all about whether or not we want to move in those directions. I got the Three of Cups, which is a very celebratory card. And the Sun, which is the most positive card in this deck, in the tarot deck. And it really shines a light on the fact that our connections are always going to, they will build great abundance around us if we utilize them in a way that includes ourselves and others. And meaning that there are so many ways that we can connect ourselves back to our resources. Our first resource, again, is to turn back to ourselves. What is it that I am good at? What is it that I would love to use as a way to serve in the world within me? What is the gift that I have? And then once you start to hook into that and you start utilizing that within you, you start looking around at the people and you start appreciating. Appreciation of what you have first and all the goodness you have around you. I don't care what it is. I don't care from if you feel like you're at rock bottom to the top of the hill. You can find things within your own life, within your own environment, within your workplace, within your home, within your vicinity that will always show you that there is so much abundance. And abundance, knowing that you are in an abundance mindset, again, utilizing the mind, you get to really absolutely understand and realize it, but also appreciate it through the heart, implement. Start allowing that intuition within you to take you in subtle directions that maybe you weren't thinking of. So if you're tired of what you're doing, or if you feel like you have more to offer and you don't feel like you're being resourced enough, compensated for it, this is a great time to start reflecting on that. And the best way to do that is always in the silence of the time alone that you have to go within. Do an inventory, start checking out like what isn't serving you anymore. Again, we are in in this new month. We're almost the middle of the new month of this great new year, and you get to evaluate what has been as we release the old year and where you're moving into and what you would like to move into. Setting those intentions. I'm a big fan of setting intentions. And there are many opportunities to do that. And I'll talk about the moon cycles as well, because we just came out of one at the beginning of the month and are moving into a new moon, which is a great time to set intentions at the end of this week. So again, really looking good as far as how we can create more resources for ourselves. And when you do that, it's much easier to feel like you can be generous to you and to others around you, which is pretty exciting. I looked into health a little bit, and health this year is going to be a time where we have to really look at our own selves health-wise in our bodies, our beautiful bodies, these intelligent, wise bodies that need to be recognized and allowed to be, I want to say, just given what they're due. Because what I love seeing is that we're starting to, there's so much more emphasis now on ways that's very simple, practical ways that we can bring awareness and tools to bring more health into our lives, to get grounded in the body. Physical movement, as I've said, is many times is so important, because this is the vessel for which that we create, and that we are able to connect to this world. And the body is its own intelligence system, and it has a way of letting us know when we're just not moving in the direction that we need to. It's going to give us signals, subtle at first, and then they start to get louder and louder. I got the Ace of Swords, and I got the Page of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is really a great card. It's a really powerful indicator of clarity, starting to get to the truth of the matter. This might be a reminder of like, hey, I've been wanting to start an exercise routine, or I really wanted to just clean up my diet a little bit, or I really want to start adding in things that I know actually feed my body by virtue of the fact that they make me happy in positive ways. The Page of Swords is one of curiosity and excitement in the journey. There are simple things that can be done. It doesn't have to be a big deal thing. I am not a big fan of just creating this great new huge routine, throwing out old things that we know aren't serving us. I believe in small changes. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't create a new system of sorts to start finding healthy ways to change our lives. I believe in that, but I think instead of an example, starting a gym membership and just getting that personal trainer, and believe me, I used to be one, and I think they're wonderful. That is going to push you into your path, and getting really overloaded in terms of what you're taking on, and then just finding yourself wiped out because you can't build muscle that quickly. You're just going to burn yourself out. Start the small changes. Give your body, who wants to have a way of moving into change that doesn't destabilize it. Our bodies, they don't respond well to overwhelmance. We know that because our nervous system tells us. And we want to make sure that our nervous system is feeling safety, security, and just stability as we make changes. If we do that, really good things start to happen, because it's just like, it's like anything else. You build upon and build upon and build upon to the point where things become habitual in a way that is sustainable, because sustainability is the name of the game. If it's not sustainable, it's not going to be something that you can keep with you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that is going to create real change, real lasting change, greater health in a true and lasting way. Okay, and so my last couple of cards. I actually pulled 3 because it basically showed like, what are the next steps? Like, what are the energies that really need to be looked at in order to move into these changes that I was just talking about, all these potentialities. And so this is the 7 of Cups. And then I have the 10 of Wands. Now, 7 of Cups, if you look at it, there are a lot of opportunities here. There are a lot of choices. There are a lot of decisions to be made. All the cups represent all these different directions that we can go in. And it can create analysis paralysis. It can almost become it could be like an armchair astronaut where you think in your mind you're living all these things, but you're really not engaging and getting in there. And then you get the 10 of Wands, which is like, I'm overwhelmed. I have so much burden. This is just too much. I'm trying to do it all. I can't do it all. Heavy responsibility. So the guidance is that these two need to be balanced out in a way that you choose, go in one direction, choose one thing, maybe a couple things that you know you can move into, whether it is in how you relate to your career or changes in how you're going to approach your finances, or how you're going to change and approach your relationships and relating to others differently, or your health, whatever it might be. I asked for clarity on this and I got the Temperance card, which is beautiful because the Temperance card is about exactly what it shows. And it's major arcana, which I love. It really shows, find balance. Find balance. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some room to try some new things. If it's too much, it's too much. You'll know. And there's divine support here. We have so much divine support. We are constantly being given so much incredible guidance, so much non-physical support around us, all of our angels, all of our guides, so deeply loved that we are just always given something that we need in the moment if we just pay attention to it, and it comes in so many forms. I know this to be true, and I know that you do as well if you're watching this channel. We just have to engage in it, and we have to start leveraging that. We have to start leveraging what is available to us, starting with our own higher selves, what is being offered to us. There's so much there. And I pulled another card, and in true spirit of what we're talking about, it was the Look Forward card. Look forward. Going into the past and going into the future isn't really going to help. Setting intentions for the future is great. Looking back sometimes a little here and there to be able to say, yeah, that didn't really work. Don't really want to do that again is also helpful. But to stay stuck, to stay in a place of regret or remorse or woulda, coulda, shoulda, it doesn't serve. It does not serve. If we really want to move out and not stay stuck and not feel like we're just spinning the same old story over and over again, living the same old thing, you got to look forward. But it starts with being in present time. It starts with taking action to be in the moment every day, with the small things that really keep you engaged with life and the people around you, looking people in the eye, being aware of where you are. And again, back to appreciation, grateful for it, grateful, appreciative, even more so, just seeing it for what it is, and seeing the blessings that are with us. There's a lot that can be done, and you might not believe you're the one to do it, but I know you are. So yeah, as I look at these cards, there's so much goodness here. I really loved everything that I was pulling here. Pull another one just for fun, just to see if there's another little added message. I'm gonna see if there's one more little thing that we can look at. So the new moon is coming up. The new moon is coming up on January 18th, and new moon is, I got two that just popped out. The new moon is about setting intentions. So it's perfect timing, and it's a very strong new moon. It's in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is an earth sign, and it's ruled by Saturn. And Saturn, it's all about practicality and planning and structure and things that we can do to realistically create change in a profound and powerful way. So the 18th, January 18th, is a really great time to start. I believe in real in intentions, meaning obviously what I just said is intentions, but rituals around intentions. And when you think about it, I never thought about it this way when I was Catholic, growing up Catholic. All the sacraments and all the rituals we see when it comes to, I don't care if it's even a birthday party, the fact that we have a cake and we all sing and we blow out a candle with a wish. This is important. Rituals are very grounding, and what they do is they speak to our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind, which is looking for something to hook into to make it real, to know like what I just did really just set something in motion. It planted a seed that the universe now is going to grab hold of, and it's going to grow. Now, doesn't mean just because you did your ritual that it grows. What it does is it solidifies it so that we can create it in material form, in concrete materialistic ways around us, within ourselves and in our environment. So create a ritual around what it is you want to create in this brand new year. What is it that you want to see different? What do you love about what we have? Maybe just fortify that, make that more a part of your story, more a part of this year's story. I'm a big fan, and I'm going to be doing one on the 18th. Now, to the sea and by the book. Now, these both popped out. Now, to the sea means going with the flow. It is a message of just flexibility. We have to be flexible. You have to be flexible. Just because we have deeply held beliefs about things, or just because we want to see certain changes, life is going to throw things. And being able to roll with it and to be able to respond. Again, I'm going to use that word again because there's a lot of reactivity that happens. When we see it or when it comes through us, the outcomes aren't usually as positive as when we respond, when we get grounded, we look around and we assess and allow true guidance to come through us, and so that we can respond with our words, with our actions. That's where real power is, and we all have it. We all are super powerful. Now, by the book means this is a card that shows that, yeah, there are structures, right? There are structures around us, and it's important to recognize them. We live in a world with structure. We need it in order. It's what our ego is. Our ego is a structure. It allows us to have this persona, this beautiful individuality that we have, who we are on this planet. It needs structure. It needs something to ground us into who we are, so that we can play on this earth, so that we can work with what we have around us. There are going to be structures that we have to work with. Now, can we be, again, a little flexible with them at times? Yeah, we can. So this is where, again, to go back to the reading, you have to look at the things that might have been the way it was, business as usual, that maybe needs a little restructuring. So start thinking about those things. Those things are up for some investigation, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because I'm a believer in always looking at the phase you're in, assessing, is it working? And if it is not working, who is the person that gets to decide how to change it? We do, each of us individually. So a lot of good things going on here, guys. Very excited. If you are interested in more of this, please subscribe. If you have ideas about what you think you would like to talk about, or if this resonates with you, I would love hearing from you. It's really fun to start connecting in that way. There's a lot going on this year. I hope you're ready for it. I certainly am, and I'm excited. See you guys next time.